Messi fans, can you guys remember how flawless and faultless Messi's penalties were at the World Cup? Now, this statement from Neymar confirms it. Neymar said, "I really helped Leo take penalties. We were in training and he asked me, how do you take penalties like that?" You guys know that Neymar, has a very subtle way of taking penalties, very easy way of taking penalties. And that technique has actually worked for him, making him one of the best penalty takers in football recently. So Neymar was like, "Are you crazy? You are Messi. If I can do it, you can too." Then I taught him and he trained. So that explains the easy technique of Messi penalties at the World Cup, because it was more of Neymar-like penalties. That's how Neymar takes his penalties. And you guys saw how easy, penalties were for Messi at the World Cup, which made, Ronaldo fans to start saying it was rigged, penalty for Argentina, penalty for Argentina. So Neymar was actually instrumental to Messi training for the World Cup. During the World Cup, you saw the penalty against Saudi Arabia. It was calmly taken. He rolled in the ball into the net. Then he tried his own technique against Poland. That's pacey kind of penalty where you move with pace, and the goalkeeper also tries to follow a ball with the same pace, and it didn't work. Szczesny saved his penalty. And then, the next penalty he took, I think, against the Netherlands, he adopted the Neymar type of penalty, the Neymar technique. And he pinned the goalkeepers from there onwards against Netherlands, against Croatia, against France. He never missed any other penalty until the end of the World Cup. So Neymar was very much instrumental to, getting Messi trained for the World Cup, for taking penalty duties in the World Cup. And this goes a long way to tell you how humble Messi is. Despite being the greatest player of all time, despite being more talented than Neymar, he brought himself down and asked Neymar to teach him how to take his own type of penalties, the kind of technique he uses while taking penalties. He brought himself down to learn that technique, and it helped him in the World Cup. It helped him. He rolled in penalties like, it was very easy. It looked too easy for Messi at the World Cup, the greatest stage of football. Messi played penalties like, it wasn't Messi. And, it goes a long way to tell you how humble Messi is. And if you guys can actually notice, Ronaldo has also adopted that method. After he missed a penalty against Slovenia in the Euros, the next penalty he took during the penalty shootout was the Neymar kind of technique. Try to walk towards the ball, not pacey, but then try to walk slowly and then choose a spot. And what that kind of technique does to the goalkeeper is that it reduces the pace of the goalkeeper, because when you're coming with that pace, the goalkeeper will try to dive with the same pace. But when you walk towards the ball, the goalkeeper is going to wait for you to hit the ball before he moves. And Ronaldo has actually adopted that method. And if you watch his penalties these days, it's mostly that Neymar-like kind of penalties. So Ronaldo somehow adopted that penalty technique, but Messi, asked Neymar to teach him, and Neymar did. And it was actually very much instrumental to Argentina winning the World Cup, because Messi was flawless and faultless while taking the penalty duties for Argentina during the World Cup. And at the end of the day, Argentina won the World Cup. So all thanks to Neymar to actually making himself available as an instrument to prepare Messi for the World Cup. Thank you.